Hey, third graders, we are going to do the last lesson in this unit. So we're going to work on page 339, which is solving fraction problems. So using our fraction strips to solve some word problems. And then we're going to take another quick quiz this week, and we're going to do our Unit 5 test before we start our next unit, which is going to be next week. All right, so page 339. You're going to need your fraction strips so that you can do some comparing with me. And let's see what we're going to do. Number one, we're going to do this whole entire page. So your job is to focus and really be thinking and paying attention to what we're doing. The shelves in Roger's bookcase are 7/8 of a yard long. Anna's bookcase has shelves that are 5/8 of a yard long. Whose bookcase has longer shelves? And then it also asks us, how do you know? So whose bookcase has longer shelves? And then we have to prove how we know. All right, so let's get our fraction strips out and let's compare. This one is 7/8. This one is 5/8. Okay, so I'm going to get my 8th fraction strips, right? This is 8/8 because it's one whole. Okay, if Roger has 7/8, right, his is going to be this long. We're only going to take one away. And if Anna's are 5/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8, right, then hers are only kind of as long as where my finger ends. So whose bookcase is longer? Okay, 7/8, right, you can tell is longer. So that would be who? Roger. Okay, so that's our first answer. Roger, his bookshelf is longer, bookcase is longer, but how do we know? Okay, we just use our fraction strip to compare, right? And we learned that 7/8 is greater or bigger than 5/8. We could see it right here. I could make another fraction strip if I wanted to, right? We had those extras. We could also make those into another, right, set of eighths, and we could compare them side by side. But I think you understand that 7/8 is greater than 5/8. That's our proof, okay? We use our fraction strips to see that. Rosa buys 3/4 of a pound of cheese. Lucy buys 3/8 of a pound of cheese. Who buys more cheese? And then again, explain your answer. So we want to see Rosa buys 3/4. So here are my fourths. And if she buys 3 of them, 1, 2, 3/4, I'm going to fold under that last one. So there's 3/4. And Lucy buys 3/8. So here are my eighths. And I'm going to count out 1, 2, 3 of them. And I'm going to fold the rest behind. Okay, I've got a little tail here. That's okay because there's nothing written on it. If I want, I can just fold that behind as well. But I'm going to compare 3/4 and 3/8. You can see with your eyes, right, when you're comparing them. Rosa has the 3/4. Lucy has the 3/8. So who buys more? Whoever buys this one buys more. This would be Rosa, right? So Rosa buys more. What if it said who buys less? Right? This would have been the answer because this is smaller, right? So how do we know? Let's explain our answer. Well, we can see it. 3/4 is greater than 3/8, right? We could even say it in words. 3/4 takes up more of a whole than 3/8 does, right? But we're really just comparing them. How about the next one? Vera has same size muffin pans. Ooh, I love to make blueberry muffins. She fills 8/4 pans with cranberry muffins and 8/6 pans with banana muffins. Does Vera have fewer cranberry muffins or banana muffins? And then how do you know? Okay, so 8/4. Let's count out 8/4. Okay, here's my fraction strip that's fourths. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Oh, but I need 8/4. I only have 4 here. So I actually have more than a whole, right? Well, let's use this and decide. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, let's pretend we have more and keep going. 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be 2 of these, right? 2 of these long fraction strips. So she has another whole fraction strip, right? So if I zoom out my camera, look at this one is the same size, right? So she actually has this much. So that's a lot, right? She's got 4 here, and she's really got 4 over here. So she's got 8 altogether, right? 8/4. The other one is 8/6. Well, here are my 6th right here. How many of those do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. But I need to have 8/6. So I only have 6 of them. What if I had 2 more at the end? 2 more that were the same size. Let's use this and see. What would be 2 more? Well, look at that. This amount is the same, right? So if I pretend that this is in 2 pieces, let's just flip it over and we'll pretend that. I'm going to fold it over. I could split them in half, right, to show you. There is 8/6. So when we're comparing, which one is longer? It's kind of even hard to see because of my camera. I've got to make sure that I line them up and they start the same spot. Right? So this one, let me turn this to the side here. Here's my 4/4. Here's my 8/4. And here is my 8/6. And you can obviously see, right, the one on top is more. So does Vera have fewer cranberry muffins or banana muffins? Which one is fewer? The 8/6 is fewer. Which one of those muffins is the 8/6? Here it is. It's banana muffins. So we really have to pay attention to what they're asking us, right? And why is it banana muffins? Because 8/6 is less than 8/4. Remember, it points to the smaller one. It eats the bigger one. And depending on how we arrange this, if we have 8/6 first in our sentence, then that's the smaller one. So we're going to point to the smaller one. Okay, we got a couple more. We're going to talk about walking to school, something we haven't done in a while. Right? Lester, he gets to walk 3/4 of a mile to school. Bert said that he walks farther because he walks 6/8 of a mile to school. Is his statement correct? Right? So is what Bert says correct? And explain your answer. So let's find out how long 3/4 is. Use my 1/4, count 3 unit fractions. Tuck that one under. There's 3/4 of a mile. That's how far Lester walks. And now let's find our 6/8. Right? I've got my 8ths. I'm going to count out 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to fold under the rest. Okay, what do you notice? Lester, Bert, and Bert says that he walks farther. Is he true or is he correct? These are the same, right? These are equivalent fractions. 3/4 is the same as 6/8. So no, Bert is not correct. And how do we know that? There's our proof, right? 3/4 is equivalent or equal to 6/8. Now, this would be hard to do if I didn't have my fraction strips. I'd have to do a lot of really hard thinking, which I could do, but it would take me a long time. So these fraction strips are really important for you to have and to know where they are so you can use them on quizzes and tests. Okay, so your job was to have those already cut out and already labeled. So make sure that you know where they are and that you can use them on homework and you can use them on any tests or quizzes that you have coming up as well. All right. One more to do. Rusty painted 5/6 of a mural for a hallway. So that's a picture on the wall. He painted more than half of the mural? So there's our question. Has he painted more than half of the mural? Let's find out what 5/6 is. Okay, I know that a whole is 6/6. So if I take one away, that will be 5/6. Count them and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It says, right, or it's asking, has he painted more than half? What do you think? If there's only one little piece left, if I folded this right in half, right, how many pieces would I have? If I folded it right in half, I would have 3/6. Right, so 3/6 would be half. He's painted 5/6, so he's painted more than half. Yes, because 5/6 is greater, right? It says to try to figure out what half is. We figured out that it was 3/6, right in the middle. Whoops. So if I were to fold that right in half, right, or I could fold it the opposite way where you can see on the outside, right? The same amount is on the other side on the bottom. Okay, so we have to be able to prove it. You have to know which symbol goes with points towards which fraction. Remember, it points to the smaller one. It always eats the bigger one. Okay, we could also say it differently. We could say 3/6 is less than 5/6. It's the same thing. We're still comparing the same fractions. We're still pointing to the smaller one. This one just happens to be on the left. This one happens to be on the right. Remember, when we compare, we say this just like a sentence. 5/6 is greater than 3/6. 3/6 is less than 5/6. It's the same thing. It's just saying it in the opposite way.